found a HTML file for
Hello,
Ancestries.
and welcome to a
Howdy.
messed up stream.
Yay.
Hey,
Now,
Leo's
We're,
missing.
welcome to class, kids. Today we're learning about how not to make promises you can't keep.
We gotta play a different game now? Is that what I'm hearing?
I don't know.
I
I'm
think I
checking
might have
on
found
Beacon real
something.
quick.
I have hope. I've found something.
I mean,
maybe.
case scenario, we just need to be able to have a random number generator. Like, we could do everything on paper.
I guess we can,
yeah, but
technically.
where's the fun in that?
Yeah, where is the fun?
You know what?
Look,
It would be on brand if we just change up the game.
Yeah.
oh yeah, he wants to play a 5-stack of Smite.
No.
Wait,
Okay.
quick question. Was there an items folder?
Yes.
Yes, there was.
Yeah.
Did you check in there for the ancestries?
Yes, I did.
Damn it!
we have to add them.
Yeah, I'm looking
Yeah.
on the what's it, my Bob, and
That's
there's an
very
ancestry
specific.
sheet. Yeah, the GitHub in it. And there's an ancestry sheet, ancestry view, ancestry edit. It exists. It's there, and it was added 4 months ago. So-
Hold on, let me check here. Let me just take a good look-a-loo.
Welcome to a feed
so-
I short where
yes.
we know what we're doing.
Welcome to a Feed Eye Short, where we were planning on playing some Shadow of the Demon Lord. Well, not play today, but talk about playing it. And yeah, that's going.
I do quite like how it looks, like in comparison to other things we've played. I think the way the magic system works is quite interesting.
Looks so cool, yeah.
And the rules and everything look great, but problem is it's not on Foundry. And
Or it is.
well,
Half.
Some of it is.
in name it's on there. There is a character sheet. But it is not done because we can't find a way to make the ancestries or the past or any of that stuff to actually make the character.
Yeah.
But what we do know is other people have managed it. And so
Yeah.
thank you for the help that we don't
Somehow.
understand.
Also, I would like to point out that Nathan, you are a voice in the void.
Have
a
you not
voice-
connected to the thingy, my Bob?
I'm
your,
thingy, Bobo.
your model's
You're
not
not
up.
in. You're not in our
I'm in my own one.
Yeah,
Why are
that's
you
not
in
helpful.
your own
I was in the one that's in the stream overlay stuff.
Yeah, you have to use the one that's in your personal chat.
Yeah.
Oh, well, but me and Tyler talk. That's
No.
so far away.
Okay, so we're running into a few issues. One
Right.
being finding a way to play this on virtual tabletop because I would love to have an in-person game, but I can't afford
Lipstick
tickets to
nightmare.
go to jolly old England or whatever.
To be fair, like if we just need Foundry, like we could use the old one and just ignore 2 of the stats, and that's about it, right?
I guess we could. Yeah, I guess we could overhaul it to do that. I guess.
Yeah.
Then again, or
We
we
just-
can just go rogue and not care what big companies say.
I don't think we're big enough fish for them to care about.
Well, problem is Foundry is, and the licensing kind of hurts virtual tabletops.
Yeah.
We
Even
love
with their
companies.
latest, we're
Why is there a
sorry.
giant black box?
Because I just reset some things. Please hold on. I'm still panicking over here.
It's okay. Take a deep breath. Make a cup of tea. It'll be fine.
I don't
You're
have
so
tea.
angry right now.
I know. It's called Hasbro existing. It's the Hasbro existing
my
phase
God.
here.
Money, money, money.
Okay, let's.
Somehow I managed to injure myself by
Okay, I'm
sitting
gonna try
down
bringing
on
up
a
this world to
blanket.
see if we can
Classic.
work with this.
Oh, hello.
What?
This is installing.
I wasn't a black box. I don't know what you're talking about.
What are we talking about?
See here, does this have any? No, it does not. Unless this is just like a
No.
blank form of it.
We might just need like a weekend to put it all together, and then we do it.
What
Sorry.
was that?
What is that?
Sorry, screamed me into a pillow.
I mean,
Yes, rude.
you know what? This is one of the best streams we've had.
Quick.
We have personality, you know? It's one of our selling points. A fun fact, we do sometimes show that we do in fact own some form of personality. To some extent. For better or for worse.
Okay.
Also my Pepsi's flat.
Oh
didn't pickle it.
God.
Pump it up again.
It's not fizzy.
Just excuse me while I panic search on here for how to correct this. There's roll 20, but left roll
It's funny
20.
because I found a video from 2020 that has all of the stuff in it that we need for Foundry.
Uh,
I don't know why it's different now.
Or has it like just been an update and the other stuff is still in the process of being updated?
Could
I
be.
have no idea.
From
Try
what I
an
can
older
tell in the Discord, it's like advice. Oh, that did it. So I assume we're just being somewhat inept.
No, it's impossible.
Us
Yeah,
inept?
it doesn't make any sense.
There's no compute in it.
Okay, so I'm going to try. I'm looking at roll 20 right now to see how much like the base rules and everything are. I mean, I might just go back to that, I guess.
Or we could play Beacon.
Yeah, I don't like that I'm looking for the core rule book and nothing is popping up.
For which one? I think we've got links about somewhere.
Okay, so this is an add-on, but where's the main game?
Valheim, anyone?
I'm so glad we said that this was a testing thing first and not that we're gonna play today. Because
I have just noticed actually Valheim's got a new update. I
Yeah.
might,
Oh no, not an update.
yeah. They
Those
took
break
out
things,
armor.
apparently. They took out the ground as well, you know. It's the bare basics.
Look,
so
if you
this-
just program the ground in yourself.
Going back to the days where you had to program your games into your games console, had a big book of code, and you just sit there typing it out.
Hmm.
That's how we're going now. That's how we roll. Oh yeah.
Okay, so I'm trying to figure out. It's only $5. That's good. Thing is, I don't know if this is what we need. I don't know if because it says this is a starting adventure. I don't know if it has everything it needs.
it might
Oh,
just
not?
be the adventure. Not
And
I-
now the
I
boss says
say
this
we
is a
play
game add-on.
Beacon. I say we should never listen to me again when I suggest something.
Oh, agreed. Wait, we were
No,
listening to Anna?
What's so great? I love the rules. I love it.
Yeah.
It looks like it'd be great to play. It's just being able to play it.
Oh, never mind. So we should listen to me. It's
Yeah.
fine. That's
roll it back, roll it
I'm
back.
glad we played. I'm glad we figured that out. That's the most
Don't worry,
important
I'll
part
give
of
you some
anything.
credit here. It's okay.
Okay, thanks so much, bestie. Um,
I'm gonna go punch a tree while we wait.
You do that.
do it for Ty as well, just so everybody's busy.
Okay, this
Also, I love how we have now 5 viewers watching us. Why am I crying?
Well, I think it was freak out.
Oh,
hello.
thank
If
you.
you know how to play Shadow of the Demon Lord on anything, please let us know.
Please, for the love of God.
Because
specifically how to make a character
here
sheet.
my
because
stupid
everyone
ass
else
was
is
like,
fine.
"Oh, it's on Foundry. I mean, even if it's not complete, we can work with it, right? It's too incomplete."
I mean, we can work with it. It's just every time we roll, we'll have to put in our modifiers.
Oh my God! Please,
I
I'd
don't
rather
wanna do
carve my own
that.
feet.
Just don't make us roll. Like, oh,
I
well
mean-
done, guys.
Nathan, you
Wow, you
underestimate how
killed him in one
stupid I
hit.
am.
Unless we make a macro for each one of our abilities.
And then
That
I
is-
also like
yeah,
to point out
no.
monsters on my end.
Oh no!
Oh,
Never
that,
mind, never mind,
just
never
make
mind.
us fight each other.
Let's
Yeah, you
fight
know what? That's a good
Deacon.
idea.
Fight to the death. Plus one
Fight-
alive has to figure out how to fix Foundry.
I think that
Oh my God.
maybe
Oh,
Shadow of
we
the
could
Demon Lord
build-
Novice Adventures 1 is it. Maybe.
We could build effects in
But
that'll
effects
do
are
all of
just
the character stuff.
hard.
Yeah,
Just
we
would take a while.
Yeah.
yeah.
This
Then
is
we
not going to
won't
be
be
a
able to
next
do it
week thing.
And I think other people have done it, so it might just be a case of copy and pasting what they've done. But even then, you have to like figure out where to put it.
Okay.
My
Well,
chest
I mean, the
falling
effects
apart.
are easy for this one.
All right.
On the offside, even if we don't play Shadow of the Demon Lord in the future, I'd be thrilled if you could take into consideration taking the insanity system and putting it in future games.
Yeah,
Yeah, I love
That
insanity.
is an option,
Mhm.
yes.
I do quite like how they've done the schools of magic as well. Like implementing that in the case of like you can only do this kind of magic.
Maybe we can do
we'll
more
actually go over
research.
the rules and everything here in just a second after I finish my panic attack.
I'm just gonna go and run and stop my chair from falling apart. I'll be back in a moment.
No,
Aren't you sitting in it? Shouldn't you just like fix it there?
Yeah, I am, but like the screws are kind of coming loose.
No. Just like our stream.
yeah.
Everything's going fine. Nothing is on fire.
Okay, so
Everybody's alive.
our
Kind
next
of.
game that we're planning on playing, aside from Shadow of the Demon Lord, is a game called Beacon. It's still in testing, so it's not surprising that there's not much on there. But it heavily uses the Lancer system, so we could just build off that. Technically,
Yeah.
it would require some effort.
I
And
mean,
then-
this is requiring some effort.
Yes, but I think this actually might require more effort in the long run. And then there is, what's it called? Icon, which is also in testing. Why do I keep pulling up these testing things?
Because the big boys are upset.
Yes. So
Okay.
Icon doesn't really have anything anywhere from what I can tell. So that one might be difficult to do. We might just have to like pull out a generic system for that. And Slayers, no, I didn't even look into that one on Foundry, see if it has it.
it's not.
It's not
But
okay.
It's literally a D6, a D8, or a D10, and then those are the
guess
only things
Yeah,
you roll.
True. That one's it's a very simple system for that one, so that is good.
Yeah.
But
Also,
you know what
Chris is running
Foundry
it.
does have?
Yeah.
It has Pathfinder.
Yes, it does.
It does.
Well, it also, I mean, it has Lancer and it has Cyberpunk.
Yeah, so
I
if
think-
you guys want to do that, we could do that.
Yeah.
I think we hold off for Pathfinder for a session where we actually say we're going to build Pathfinder characters, because Pathfinder characters are very finicky.
Yeah, I
That
think
character
they are a
builder I
whole
found
session.
is very nice.
I haven't played Pathfinder
That was
before, but just from like what I hear about character creation, it sounds great. And well, in a bad way. Like there's so much there. I like that. I like
You can
heavy
do
That's
character
fine.
a
creation.
lot.
Yes. The more the better.
The more the merrier. And we'll start with level 1 for everything, so there'll be less to do, but also more to do because you're literally setting up your character. Maybe we should change the stream title.
Well, right now
Yeah,
it's still
just
Demon
chatting.
Lord, technically.
We can still discuss Demon Lord rules and
Yeah, we'll go and go over.
character
It's a good
creation.
system to at least look at.
Yeah, I
Good.
mean it looks really fun.
For
I'm,
your recommendation, dear viewer, if you're still here for some reason. Let me just.
But yeah, there's a lot of fun rules. I'm especially a big fan of the corruption and insanity rules, if you couldn't tell. I really just like rolling on random tables. And I love adding consequences to your bad actions. Funnily enough, if you've known all my characters, I hate consequences, but I also love rolling on random tables, so
Yeah, just
even
go
that.
back and watch any part of campaign 1.
Rolling on random tables, not facing the consequences of your action.
So, what we're gonna do is you guys are gonna use the old pen and paper, I guess, to make your characters for whatever, just for the hell of it. Why not? And we'll decide if we actually run a one shot off this or not, depending on my sanity.
Yeah, sure.
Everybody opens up
Hello,
the
I'm back.
PDF.
So everyone, let's go ahead and just
Foreshadow.
go over the rules and setting and everything for Shadow of the Demon Lord, because even if we don't get the chance to play it, I still think it's a really neat system. It's D&D mixed with Warhammer, and it's metal as hell.
Yeah.
The system overall is very 5e like, at least for like combat encounters and stuff. And then you get into the character creation, which is not too bad in the beginning, where you pick your ancestry, so like human, orc, whatever, and that gives you like your base stats and everything, and then you can kind of twiddle around with it a little bit, and then you choose. Oh, you know what? I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's start from the beginning. Let's talk about Shadow of the Demon Lord, a land in shadow. So, actually, put my glasses on here. Let's take a nice little look here. The fate of the universe will be decided on Earth. Earth being spelled URTH. A small planet swinging around a relatively young star in a remote corner of the galaxy. The shadow of the Demon Lord falls over many worlds, but Earth has most recently drawn its fell attention. Here, reality's boundaries have weakened enough to permit the darkness of the void to escape and set in motion a series of disasters that, unless stopped, will culminate in the beginning of all things. This chapter just whatever. Shadow of the Demon Lord is by I believe it's pronounced Schwab Entertainment. Originally written by a gentleman who actually worked on 5e, and he's been like working on adventures, like official adventures for 5e. And he's like, you know what? No. I'm gonna make my own thing with demons and insanity and metal.
Yeah.
That's kind of the quick overview. Like the primary setting that comes with the book is very dark, and the world is currently on the verge of apocalypse. Demons are setting up shop everywhere. The races of Earth are cowering in fear, trying to fight back the best they can, but in the end, it's more than likely null. You're just trying to survive as long as possible. But yeah, let's go ahead and move back a little bit. La, 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 la. Gotta get through all these pages.
You know what? At least
Big
at
book.
least it's fun to talk about a new system, even if we
Yeah.
don't get to play on Foundry.
Yeah. So, Shadow of the Demon Lord is the book itself. You can get off of what was it? Schwab Entertainment dot something. Just Google Shadow of the Demon Lord. Google's your friend. The great thing about this book, you only have to buy the one book. And it's got your player's guide, it's got your GM's guide, it's got your monsters, it's got your setting. It's fantabulous. And to start things off, would anyone like to go over? We'll start with some character creation. Would anyone like to go over the ancestries of Earth?
Hey, thank you for the opportunity.
You are welcome.
Not all at once.
The ancestries. So ancestries are sort of similar to like your sort of like player character sort of thing. So in this setting, we have, other entries can exist at your GM's discretion. You can flavor them however you like, but we've got humans, changelings, clockworks, dwarfs, goblins, and orcs. And the sort of way that this system sort of works is that you get your base stats, which are basically sort of average out at 10. There's not a lot of variation between different ancestries. And then you can take one away from one of your scores and add one to it. You also get different characteristics, so you get different defense, health, healing rates, perception, size, speed, power, damage, and then like different capacities of insanity and corruption. So your ancestry does sort of like do a fair bit. You do get a lot more of your stats from the path that you choose, which is something later on. But yeah, I quite like how, while there is like variation and stuff between the different player options, there isn't that much. And when you pick your ancestry, regardless of who you pick, you take a point from one thing, add a point to another. So you still have that bit of like, I'm going to be, a bit different. Your ancestries also give you different benefits as you level up. So when you get to like, I think it's level 4, you get additional features depending on which ancestry you picked, and there's a lot of that in this sort of game. Like as you level up, you branch off and path into different things. So I like how that all sort of integrates. Does anyone else have anything to say on ancestry?
I think the humans are really funky. Like
They are.
they are really cool. I just like to say that because a lot of the time humans are kind of seen as quote unquote boring in a lot of role playing games. But in here, they're funky and they're fresh. Like honestly, it's just the variation. You can have literally any color that you want. You can have a pink human. You can have an orange human. You can be blue.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty weird. You could be stripy. You could be a zebra person.
There
So much.
You can be
each
7 feet
each
tall.
ancestry has like numerous tables that you can roll on to like make a randomly generated character if you wanted to, or like you're not sure like how old do I want my character to be, roll it on the table. Yeah, you can do all that.
Pretty wicked.
Yeah, for example, I rolled a 1. Background: you died and returned to life. You start the game with 1d6 insanity. Yeah.
We love insanity.
Insanity is very fun.
Kind of moving along with how the book has things ordered. It's a early big difference. We're going to go into stats, or in this it's called attributes. You still have your score and your modifier, which relatively works out the same. Your score being your attributes score ranging from 1 to 20. Player player characters usually have these starting around 8 to 13, depending on their ancestries and their chosen path and whatnot. The modifier is your attributes modifier, of course, equals its score minus 10. Real easy. And instead of having 6 stats, you have 4 attributes. You know what? Now I'll just go through this. I'll just bounce it off someone else.
Oh, you're a hero.
I am great. No applause. Hold your applause, please. Strength, agility, intellect, and will. Strength, it kind of mixes in like D&D strength and constitution into one package there. So that way you don't have to really split things unnecessarily. And the it goes into rules from there, for like lifting weights, dragging and shoving, all that good stuff. Then you have your agility, which acts pretty much as dexterity in D&D. Not really too much of a difference there. It kind of helps with your defense. Intellect. It's kind of a mix between wisdom, intellect, and charisma from D&D. But instead of having 3 stats, there's 2 attributes: intellect and will. And intellect is more arcane, mysterious, your memory, your wit, your cunning, your book smarts, all that jazz. And then you have your willpower, which is your presence, sense of self, kind of goes off charisma, your mental discipline, your courage, all that stuff. And it plays into the insanity bit that is highly recommended in this game.
Yeah, I think that spell casting, it's either based off your intellect or will, depending on the discipline, which is quite interesting.
And then we have the characteristics, which are derived from these attributes. Who would like to go over characteristics? Nathan, you did a lot of talking there, and I appreciate you stepping up the bat. But let's put one of these other people on the block. Huh? Anyone?
Bully circle.
Ooh.
No?
Yeah. These characteristics you speak of. Let me flip to the page. I was
Page 34 to 35.
Yep.
34 to 35.
I'll do health while we wait for you to get there. Health is
Oh.
the maximum amount of damage your character or an object can take.
I bet you've never
it's-
heard of that ability before.
Yeah, it's sort of derived off your strength. So strength sort of acting like con in a way. And different sort of ancestries and paths allow you to like get different values of health. So your martial classes might get bonuses to health and such forth.
Yeah. I can take over from here. I got it now. But yeah, strength basically encompasses everything you would expect, like from 5e attack rolls, lifting weights. Can affect character size as well and how much you can lift. Yeah,
Yeah,
that is.
Going over the characteristics on the next page.
Not attribute.
We've looked at health. So when you're injured is when you're half health or less.
That's what I was-
It can trigger features
I
and
don't know.
things.
Oh. Okay, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. That's my bad. Sorry, I thought you were stuck on the other page. Matt is right. You can keep on going, Matt. Sorry,
Okay.
my bad.
You're doing great.
It's okay.
Welcome to our stream.
Yeah. And agility affects, depending on the weapon, can also affect attack rolls. You'd make challenge rolls off of it, and also we'll get into armor later, but like 5e light armor will be based off of your agility. You might get a good version of light armor, which will be agility +1, +2, something of that nature. But there's no initiative rolls, so that's too bad for
uh,
you high agility.
I think there is
people.
initiative rolls.
No,
no,
there
there's not. We'll,
isn't.
we'll
Is
get
it
to that
not?
here in just a bit.
Oh,
Oh, is it slightly different?
Yes, it is
Yeah.
very different.
Oh,
It's fun though. It's fun.
I saw there's a
Yeah.
macro for it.
But if we can
Oh,
go over
really?
the healing rate, which is a bit different from 5e.
Because there isn't one.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's the dice. It's kind of the replacement for the hit die.
Just skip into healing rate.
Yeah.
Let me. All creatures. I'm just gonna read this straight from the book. You guys are gonna know exactly the rule for healing rate. All creatures can recover from damage given enough time. A creature's healing rate is how much damage it heals after it completes a rest or when targeted by an effect that heals damage. So a creature's healing rate equals 1/4 of its health.
Yeah.
So yeah, and your healing rate increases as your health increases. So as you level up, healing rate goes up. But so I know, for instance, the character I've created has a spell that healing berries or something like that. Once you consume it, you heal up to, I think, a half of whatever your healing rate. So it's a small heal, but I do believe the game is meant to be a struggle like that.
Yes, it
Ooh.
is very struggly.
Those are some good berries.
Yes, there are some good yummy berries.
On to defense.
Well, to defense. Yeah, defense just represents your armor class, basically. Your defense score. Armors will be based off agility, or if you get heavy armor, it'll have like a strength requirement, but it'll just give you a defense score. It's no like
It's
strength
it's
plus.
D&D 5e
Yes.
manner of items.
Uh-huh. Oh, a maximum defense is 25. No creature can exceed 25. That is
Good to know.
yeah, interesting. All right, on to perception. Yeah, it works like any other attribute. Like D&D, a high perception will indicate sharp senses. You'll be able to detect things. Your score is just based on your intellect score. Certain ancestries have higher perception. Perception will be made challenge roll, so challenge roll essentially a skill check, I believe.
Yeah, it's skill check.
Yeah. So you'll be able to make perception challenges to see if you hear something, notice shadows moving in the distance, just the typical perception rolls.
You see the tree in front of you, that sort of thing.
Yeah. You rolled really bad. Oh, nope. You're too distracted.
Moving on to insanity, we'll give this over to Anna because she seems to really like it.
Yeah.
Wait, really? Wow, how kind. Oh gosh. I don't know what to say. So insanity is I believe, one of the core things that make up Shadow of the Demon Lord. It's basically, sorry, give me a sec. So most characters begin with an insanity of 0. So that's your basic standard insanity level. You can increase that insanity if you start off with rolling on the backgrounds or anything like that and just have some reason to increase that insanity higher. You cannot have more insanity than your will score, so that's always a plus. You gain insanity by GM's discretion, so if Tyler decides, hey Anna, your character's gonna be terrified, and because I said so, that's how it works. And let's see. So whenever you gain insanity, you become frightened for a number of rounds equal to your new insanity total. So if you had an insanity of 2 and then gain an insanity level, you'll be frightened for 3 rounds. If you're already frightened, you'll just become stunned. So those are conditions. Probably talk about that later. And if your insanity total reaches your will score, you'll go mad and you get to roll on the madness table to decide what happens to you. Most forms of madness are temporary, they go away after a time. Some of them don't.
Especially if you roll a 1. It's definitely temporary.
Spoiler alert: 1 on Madness Table is death.
But also on a 20, you get to reduce your insanity. So you know, pluses and minuses. Once madness ends, if it ever ends, you reduce your insanity total by 1d6 plus your will modifier, so by a minimum of 1. That's pretty much all you need to know about insanity, I think.
Well,
I-
there's a
I-
bit more to it. You can develop
It's a quirks.
quirks. You can remove insanity by gaining quirks, and these quirks just cause different effects. Like you get like maybe a phobia to something like terrified of spiders, but everything else is it's okay.
Bright lights.
Yeah, whatever have you. And then there is, kind of moving on past that, there is corruption.
Corruption.
Ooh.
I can do this.
Oh, go right ahead.
So you ever have those horrible murder hobo players? Yeah, well, no, this can punish them. If you get someone doing something evil, they go into hell, right? So corruption basically measures how much you're tired and doomed to go to hell for doing evil acts, murder, killing loads of people, coughing on people to spread a disease, horribly evil stuff. So you get corruption from that, and you can also get effects from gaining corruption using a random table again, which give you like random evil-ish attributes, like, you know, crying blood or growing horns from your head. That kind of weird, you know, having a random pentagram here.
You know, just
on
being
your
generally
forehead.
cooler.
Yeah, yeah. More like a Satanist, really, basically. And then, or very goth. Either way. And it's hard to get rid of corruption, but it's possible. Like, powerful magicians and whatnot can do it slightly sometimes, but that's rare. And by devoting yourself to, like, charity and whatnot, you can also get rid of it, but it is bleeding hard to get out of going to hell. You know, easy hole to fall into. But yeah, I think that's pretty much corruption.
Yeah. You can
Yeah.
do atonement, where you try to seek to cleanse
Make
yourself.
amends.
Yeah. There's
The
various
final
ways
step.
to do that. That's also up to DM in some parts. But I just kind of glanced over at the Mark of Darkness that you can gain from corruption. And
They're not fun.
yeah, first one that immediately jumped out to me, like just glancing over it. Your nose rots away, leaving a dark crater in your face that leaks bloody
my-
mucus.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just
I mean,
look
the last
generally
one-
cuter.
The last one on the list is once a week a child within a mile of you sickens and dies.
Oh my god. Yeah. Wow.
Oh god.
You
yeah.
know it happens.
Don't get corrupt.
Weep blood.
Kind of moving
Your
on
skin
to some more game mechanics. A really crucial one is power. Power being your character's abilities to harness and use magical powers. The power score determines how strong a magic you can cast. It's kind of like your spellcaster level in a way, but it's universal. If you're starting out with a wizard character, you're going to have power, unlike the fighter who's not going to have any power. Oh, look at the non-Chad fighter over there with his non-power. Another difference is that this game goes by yards. That thing that no one uses.
Oh yeah, that's
Oh
fun.
god.
So that is something. No, what was the base size? 3 yards is a space no wait.
Three yards is only a meter. Yeah.
What is a
It's-
yard again? No, it's 3
it's-
foot's a meter.
Yeah,
If you-
3 foot's a yard.
Ah. Three
What?
foot's a yard. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, so a
that's-
yard is almost a meter.
So,
Yeah,
so
it's
for,
nearly
for,
a
a,
meter.
si- for a
Uh-huh.
size 1 character, your standard D&D adventure is size 1, and they occupy a space of 1 yard, which is 3 feet.
Yeah, 3x3.
That seems small.
Yeah.
It's a little smaller than 5e, but like it checks out.
Hmm.
To me, it kind of makes a little more sense, actually. So,
A yard is less than a meter.
I can't reach 5 feet ahead of me, let's be honest.
yeah, without injuring yourself.
Not unless I have a really.
I mean, if we're talking things that Anna can do without injuring themselves, it's a limited list.
I can actually do a lot of strange things without injuring myself, but I'll probably injure myself after I've done that thing. So
What is that? Making a cup of tea.
Then we have a bunch of rules for just like movement in general, travel, that sort of thing, which overall is fairly close to 5e how they have it. So easy translation there. So little differences here and there. And then there is combat, everyone's favorite part. Isn't that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Best.
Screw
Blood for
that
the blood
exploration and roleplay. We dying up in here.
Woo.
Okay, overall, the attacking and stuff works pretty much the same as 5e. But you get some options. I'll let someone else go over that here in a second. But first, I'm just going to talk about the effects of damage, like instant death.
Love a bit of instant death.
If you take damage equal to your health from a single source, so not double your health like in 5e where you just, oh, you have 50 HP, you took 100 points of damage, so you're instantly dead. No, if you have 50 HP and you take 50 damage in one hit, you're dead. Then there is incapacitated, which is their if you've seen our campaign so far, if you go down, we have kind of like a fade in and out sort of mechanic on death saves. This kind of goes into that, where if you go down, like your HP falls to 0, you're still alive, but you're incapacitated. You're sitting there, you're just kind of fading. And if you take any more damage, then sorry, you're dead. So don't get hit. You're incapacitated,
best
so you
to-
can't. So while you're incapacitated, you can't really do anything at all. Good thing is, you still have some defense, so there's a chance that people won't hit you. But while you're incapacitated, you must make fate rolls. These are similar to the death saves, but instead of rolling a d20, you're rolling a d6. On a 1, you start dying. On a 6, you gain you heal 1 damage, and you become impaired for 1 minute, but you're back in the fight. If after 3 consecutive rounds, you're still disabled, like your character can't defend himself whatsoever, you become unconscious for 1d3 hours, and you stop making the fate rolls. And by the end of this time, you'll kind of do a self-recovery. So, yeah, dying's kind of sucks in this. The character that is in the process of dying falls unconscious. At the end of each round, if you are dying, you roll the d6 again. On a 1, you just die. On a 6, you kind of come back to, and you are disabled. Anything in between, no changes. So you want the 6s. 6s are nice.
Big night.
And then there is healing damage, which overall kind of like any RPG. Then there's resting. Resting in this is a lot harder. 24 hours, you can rest once. And again, inactivity for 8 hours. And I'm pretty sure, like, if you get interrupted for a certain amount of time, it nullifies. Yeah, if something interrupts your rest for more than 1 minute, that time is wasted. So, like, if you get into a fight that lasts up to a minute, sorry, got to start back over.
Wow, they just have eliminated short rest
Yes, they
pretty
do.
much.
I'd like to start my short rest 5 minutes before everyone else, and then 5 minutes at their end, yell as loud as I can.
Banging pots and pans.
Yeah.
Guys, what do you mean?
There's a page. There's a page and a half for afflictions that kind of comes down to like asleep, blinded, immobilized, grabbed, all that sort of stuff. That's you're probably familiar with any other RPG, especially D&D. There's just some like new ones or tweaks. Let's see here.
If you can gain multiple of the same affliction though, and you have to get rid of each one individually.
Oh yes, that is something I found that was neat. Like if you got dazed once and then you get dazed while you're tased, you have to wait till the first daze wears off, and yeah, that's pretty funny. Stun lock someone is great.
Stacking conditions. Nice.
Hmm.
Let's go ahead and
Combat
skip
economy?
forward here.
I think we can skip over social interaction.
Yeah, and combat.
Fortune.
Here we go.
Fortune's
Combat.
pretty much inspiration.
Yeah.
Works.
So combat is a bit different. Does anyone want to go over the how turns work, or do you just want me to do that? It's either way.
I mean, I can do it.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. So the first and most one of the changes or one of the things about Shadow Demon Lord is that most of the time your characters are unlikely to ever be surprised. Most of the time it's just straight up knowing that you're going to be fighting. If there is a surprise possible, all of the characters will need to make a perception challenge roll. They said perception. That's same thing, really. On a failure, the creature who gets surprised becomes surprised until the end of the first round, so they can't really do anything. So combat is made up of fast turns and slow turns. Player characters always go first, and player characters can decide who goes first between them. And then it's the monster's turn, and it's always fast turns and then slow turns. So it's fast player characters, fast monsters, slow player characters, slow monsters. Fast turns, you use either an action or move up to your speed. You cannot do both. And slow turn, you can do both an action and a movement. So you can
And
use.
at the beginning of each round, you call what you're going to be doing, either slow turn or fast turn.
Yeah. That before, if there's any effects that are going on before you start your round, those get resolved first. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it for the
Yeah.
knowledge that it's fast turns, slow turns, players before monsters.
And as an example, let's say, Chris, you're taking a fast turn. You're wanting to move. You're wanting to get up. You're wanting to get into range to punch the orc that's coming at you.
Yeah.
So you take your fast turn. You move up there. The orc, he takes the fast turn and moves up to you. Anna, let's say that you wanted to be all special and you wanted to cast a spell or something, and also you need to get to a better position. You will take a slow turn, so you'll move after them regardless. You'll move and cast your spell, or any combination.
Yeah, and if Nathan and Chris both wanted to do a fast turn, they can decide between them which one of them goes first.
Exactly.
Nice.
Works. And of course, the monsters can decide between them which one of them go first.
Yep. Just go over actions, what that implies, because there's not like bonus action or anything here. The actions include attack, cast a utility spell, concentrate, defend, and then effect, find, help, hide, prepare reload, retreat, rush, stabilize, use an item.
Oh, pretty.
You won't get too deep into that right now, but something I did
Yeah,
find
just-
neat.
No.
You want to say anything?
Oh, it's just if you do cast a concentration spell, you have to explicitly spend your turn concentrating on it. It's not something that's passive, and you can lose concentration through damage or gain an insanity. Like you make a will roll.
Yes, spells in this are very unique and very good, but it takes a lot. But something I did find neat with martial weapons and stuff. Overall, attacking, like I said earlier, works pretty much the same as 5e. But whenever you're attacking with the melee, you have options. You have one, two. You can. It's kind of like the fighter subclass champion. It was champion or battle master, where you have supremacy dice and everything. You can spend those to do fancy moves. What if you could just choose to do those normally?
Yeah.
Like you have a
Nice.
driving attack, which will force back people. A guarded attack where you attack with a bane, which is this game's disadvantage, but you're better defended for the turn. Lunge attack, you can extend your reach of your weapon. Shifting attack, it's pretty much attack and disengage. Unbalancing attack, you just mess with your opponent. And then ranged martial weapons, you get options as well. You get called shots, where you can call certain parts of the body that you're wanting to attack. But of course, you have disadvantages and stuff. And depending on what you're calling, the GM will say like, "Oh, you blinded the creature temporarily," or something, that kind of thing. Or maybe it's going to walk with a limp, or something that's going to go a little slower. Distant shot, where you can attack beyond your weapon's range. And then staggering shot, which again you attack with disadvantages, but on a success, target that is your size or smaller must make an agility check or agility challenge. I'm going to keep saying that. Agility challenge roll. On failure, they fall prone.
Nice.
And attacking
One
with
thing-
dual wielding is a lot more unforgiving in this because you have to attack with disadvantages. But it's a little more straightforward than 5e.
One thing we haven't really covered yet, at least I don't think we have, is Banes and Boons, which
Yeah, I think I must have looked over that.
which are pretty important. So Banes and Boons are a d6 that you can add to or subtract from a roll whenever you make it. So there's a lot of reasons why you might gain a boon or a bane, but one thing to know is that they don't stack, and that boons and banes cancel each other out. So if you have 3 banes and 3 boons, that means you just roll straight. If you have 2 banes, 1 boon, you just roll the 1d6, and whatever you get, you have to detract from your 20. As well
Is-
as, yes.
Isn't it like if you have 3 banes and 1 boon, you still roll 2d6 and then you take the higher one and you subtract that? I think it is.
So yeah, if you have 2
Yeah.
banes, you roll the 2d6
Take-
and you
take
take
the worst,
whichever's
cool.
highest and subtract that from your d20. On the positive, you only need to reach 10 most of the time to succeed.
But banes and boons come into play far more often in this.
Yeah. Yeah, well, the more you know. Fun fact. That's all you needed to know from me.
And then there's like alternates to attacks, like disarm, distract, escape, feint, grab, knockdown, pull, shove, and charge. Just you're attacking with your attribute instead of an attack roll. Also, something
It's
neat,
got-
there's rules for attacking objects that are being carried.
I do quite like with the attacking with an attribute, like the distract is an intellect attack roll. So like, you can attack without being specifically martial.
Now you can really, it gives you a lot of
You can do a
opportunities to
lot.
be very tactical.
Mm.
Yeah, like both melee and ranged weapons just come with like special shots or attacks.
Yeah.
Which is quite nice.
And moving
Great.
on, we have the replacement for classes, paths.
Ooh.
I'll have someone read it here in just a second, but overall, paths are broken up into 3 tiers. There is novice, expert, and master. Novice, everyone starts out at, and limited options, and then your options open up the further into the game you are. Let's go over what the paths are. Who would like to take over paths?
I can do the novice path.
Go right ahead. We won't
Um,
get into the expert and everything too deep. Just a quick overview.
Yeah, so from the start of the game, you have a fairly simple choice. There's only 4 options in the novice pass, which quickly expands as you level up into the other paths. But for the novice ones, you have your magician, which is a primary spellcaster. You'll get access to more spells than the other 3 classes. It's quite nice in that, so as your ancestry levels up, also your class will level up too, and so level 1, level 2, and then level 5, they're different groupings, I guess, but you get different features and health bonuses leveling up class as well. So that's magician is the spellcaster one. Priest is another novice path. It's a little bit tougher than the magician, but you also get access to some magic and a little healing.
It balances out
Priest-
strength and will, whereas the
Yeah.
magician was intellect or will.
Yeah. And yeah, you have with the magician, you can pretty much pick from any tradition, whereas the priest, the magic tradition is associated with the religion of your character's choice. So, for instance, if you were an old faith priest, you would be able to pick from life, nature, or primal traditions, and you'd be kind of locked into those 3 traditions. And then going on to the third one, you have the rogue. Moderately tough, a little bit tougher than the magician. I wouldn't say super tough though. They have their little sneaky features with trickery and nimble recovery, which allows them to heal and stay around a little bit longer. Eventually getting stuff like backstab as you level up, the traditional rogue stuff. And then your 4th option is the warrior, which would be the toughest of them. These 2 don't have magic, but they are very capable in a melee fight. The warrior getting to attack with a boon, pretty much any attack roll, which is a big boon in an attack or a fight. So yeah, those are the 4 novice paths, and it quickly expands, and there's a lot of depth into character creation as you level up.
And it gives you a lot of opportunity to just flavor your character. Like for the magician, it kind of takes the place of the wizard, and sorcerer and warlock. It's like if you wanted
Into
to make a warlock or
artificer.
something. Yeah,
Warlock's
I'll
more
focus that.
of a rogue thing, considering the
I-
expert paths that it goes into.
Yeah, I haven't
they
looked
steal
too deep in the
magic.
expert pass because I looked at it, I was like, holy crap, it's a big table.
There's a lot of pages of paths. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Yeah, for your novice pass, you got four pages laid out, nice where you can figure out what you need. Like for example, level 1 magician, you get an attribute increase of 2 attributes by 1. You get +2 health, +1 power, so you can start casting some spells. Get some language proficiencies, profession stuff. Then you also get to start choosing your magic. You also just get a couple little abilities here and there. And as you level up, you get more stuff.
Yeah.
I won't go over all of
Oh.
that. Well, let's just kind of shout out what the paths are, the expert paths. Pass of face. Chris, go.
Oh God. What? Cleric, Druid, Oracle, Paladin.
Yes.
What's
pa-
this?
Okay, you could have read the description of it. It's whatever. It's whatever.
Oh.
It's whatever. It's fine.
I was expecting every country in a second sort of thing.
Pass of power. Anna, go.
I don't want to do this one. I want to
That's
do
too bad.
trickery.
Too bad. I already called your name.
You have artificer, sorcerer, witch, and a wizard.
Pass of trickery. Jack, go.
Assassins who are good at killing people. Yay. Scouts who like sneaking and spying and looking at things, I guess. Thieves who steal shit. Warlocks who make packs and whatnot. You know, they're warlocks. They're
They
cool.
steal magic.
But yeah, they steal. Oh, steal magic. Oh,
You're the bad boy
Yeah.
of the magic world.
oh,
You don't know anything. This
oh!
is why I
Damn!
should have done
I didn't read
trickery.
that. I was like,
Crazy.
hey, warlocks. Yeah, everyone knows what a bloody warlock is. No, they're little magic thief boys. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Pass of war, Nathan.
Yeah, we got the berserker and the fighter. They like to hit things, and then there's the ranger who likes to hit things but from far away, and there's the spellbinder who is like a half caster. Yeah.
Yeah, I love the energy. We're not going to get too deep into that. Let's just go ahead and go forward, skip how many pages? Like 50 or something.
Any
Just get
pages.
fighter.
Master paths.
There's
lot-
so many.
A lot of pages. And
Oh
then
my
there's the
God.
tier 3 where it's master paths, where we'll just go over one example just to show you just how many there are. The path of magic. You got Abjurer, Aeromancy, Apocalyptus, Arcanist, Astronomer, Bard, so on and so on and so on and so on. There's a lot.
There's like
There's-
Not an
30 to
astronomist.
60
It's an
maybe.
astromancer.
I'd say 50. Yeah.
Oh,
There's,
sorry, my
basically, you either get a bit more magic or you get a bit more skill.
Yeah.
And
And-
very specialized.
yeah,
So I
there's
see
a
forbidden
bunch of pages.
spells, and I like that.
So we'll get the spells here in
Forbidden
just a
spells are
minute.
terrifying.
Forbidden
And they also
spell.
give you corruption.
Yay!
But let's just not get ahead of ourselves. Let's just take a second.
Well, then you
Take a
can be even more emo. It's fine.
Okay, so the part that Matt was wanting to do, armors and weapons. It's on
is
page
that
102.
after- Yeah. So we kind of got into armor when we were talking about stats. Most armor works essentially how 5e works. You have your clothing, which is like just based on your agility. Soft leather is another style of clothing, but it'll be agility +1. You start to get into your light armors, and you have hard leather, which is agility +2. And after that, it all just becomes a basic stat block. You get up to medium armor, which requires a strength of 13. Like scale mail will give you a 15. The strongest one in the game, full plate, will give you an 18, but you need a strength of 15 or higher to wear that. And most characters, what is it, the highest level 1 stat you'll have is 13, so it'll be a
Yep.
while before you're wearing that kind of armor. And then moving on to weapons. They don't really have damage types. I think that's kind of a GM discretion if you want like fire resistance or vulnerability and that kind of stuff. But they do have different properties. Like heavy melee weapons might have the cumbersome property, which just means roll with 1 bane. And then there's weapons that have the defensive property, which will boost your defense while using said weapon. I thought the misfire property was quite interesting. I'll read this one straight off. When you attack with this weapon and the total of your attack roll is 0 or less, the weapon misfires. Roll a d6 on an even number. The weapon simply misfired and can be fired again once you spend 1 minute using tools to clear the barrel and repair the weapon. On an odd number, the weapon explodes and you take 2d6 damage. Just
Horrendous.
Yeah, so don't misfire.
You don't want that. And then they have basically all these other properties are seen in 5e: range, reach, use of ammunition thrown, all the basic stuff you like to see in your weapons.
Now, a special thing about the weapons, once you kind of look over to that portion a little more, which I don't think you really have to, you don't have different die for different weapons. You just use a d6 for everything. It just uses more or less d6s.
Yep, the number of d6s. I like the one, like how the hands is kind of on there too. You got like primary weapons, offhand weapons, or two-handed weapons. I just thought that was cool. I think you couldn't, I don't know how dual wielding works. I'd have to look into that, but do you think you'd be able to dual wield 2 one-hands, or then what is the point of offhand? You think 1 off?
You can dual wield weapons so long as they are not cumbersome.
Okay.
So technically
Neat.
you could technically have 2 maces.
Nice.
Noted.
I could have played the drum on your spine.
That gives me a brilliant idea.
Also, something amazing. There's 2 kinds of shields in this game. There's small shield and large shield. And they have built-in damage. Like if you wanted to attack with a shield or something, it has damage. It has damage properties. It's great.
You don't have to guess.
You also don't have to have a feat to attack with it either. You just take the shield and apply it to face.
Alright. I'll just bash people to death with shields then. That's
Exactly.
the solution. Easy.
Go get it, Captain America.
Hell
It's
yeah.
very slow though. They don't have that much
Okay, then I'll
time.
use 2 large shields. I'll just dual wield them.
For a total
I
of 1d6.
think those are cumbersome, aren't they? Oh no, they're not cumbersome. So
No, they're
technically, you
not.
could do that.
All the armor, all the
I
defense.
think you can technically do that. We'll have to look a little more into that, but I think you can technically do that.
One of my players once played with a character who just used shields as weapons in a campaign I ran. It was brilliant.
Okay, page 111, magic. Who would like to do the basic overview of magic? Nathan,
jump
you want to
in.
do that?
Yeah. So instead of there being like sort of spell class lists and stuff, magic is all sort of just put into different traditions. I think there's like 30 traditions, 15 for intellect casting and 15 for will casting. Just to pick a few, you've got Arcana, Battle, Conjunction, there's Time, Teleportation, Storm, Song. So a whole load of different things, and they'll all follow different themes. But you can't just learn anything. So, like, the clerics had to specifically discover traditions linked to their religion. I think wizards could, or magicians could pick any tradition, but the way how it works is you get a certain amount of points, and you can spend a point to discover a tradition. This allows you to spend further points to learn one spell from that tradition, equal to your power level or lower. And when you discover a tradition, you get some level 0 spells from it for free. There are also dark magic traditions. So, necromancy is a dark magic tradition that uses intellect. When you discover a dark magic tradition, you gain a level of corruption, and then you have to roll a d6. If it is less than that, when you learn a spell from a dark magic tradition, so you gain a corruption for discovering it, and then you roll to see if you gain another one from learning a spell. So if you get a number less than the number of dark spells you already know, you gain a corruption. But for each dark magic spell that you know, you actually have a boon against becoming insane. So there's like a weird sort of trade-off of being evil and loving it, which I think is quite fun. So yeah, you sort of the spell casting in this sort of world is a lot more devoted. If I wanted to pick, if I started off, I'm gonna, as a magician, I get 4 points. So I might discover a fire tradition. So I get a cantrip, let's say. I discover a celestial tradition, and I get another level 0 spell from that. I could use my last 2 points to either discover another tradition and learn one spell from one of those traditions, or use my last 2 points to learn a spell from each, for example. So I think that's quite interesting. There is a lot of sort of thinking and investment into the magic, which I quite like. It's not the case that you can just have a nap and change your spells out entirely. There's also a lot of stuff like you've got your cones, your areas, that sort of thing. To be able to cast a spell, you need to be able to speak the word and wield the implementation. So sometimes, you might need a wand or such. And the way that you recover spells, you just need to have a minute rest. So you typically get less spell slots. Level 0 spells going to be used a certain amount of times, but after a minute, you get all of that back. So, resting is quite a big thing, and I think that sort of plays into the entire sort of scheme of this. So yeah, it's all very interesting. Different spells have different durations. Some spells allow you to change a target, so it doesn't require a special movement thing for you to do that. And yeah, there is then 50 pages of spells.
There's a lot of spells.
There's a lot of
We'll just
pages.
pass them off between different traditions to people to kind of just read the spells themselves, like not the effects or anything.
Yeah, the spells also split into attack or utility. It doesn't specifically mean much other than this is a utility spell.
Yeah, just how you describe things.
Yeah,
Bagsy time magic, because
I saw that was actually in there.
If you skip over to page 116, we can look at the traditions from there whenever Nathan's done.
I mean, we've got the air tradition. So this encompasses air spells. So, for example, level 0, you've got Stir the Air, which is just a bit like pushing the air around. You can make people attack with a bane. And then there's Wind Blast. So you make a will attack roll against the target's strength, and on success, you push them 1d6 yards away. Yay!
And for the rest of air, it's just kind of just read off the names themselves.
So you've got Evoke Gale, Flint, Glide, Still the Air, Thunderclap, Bestow Flight, Fling, Create Cyclone, Bind Wind Genie.
Those high level ones for all of them are just badass.
Yeah. What's so great? All these spells feel unique. I like that.
Yeah.
I think practically every tradition as well has 2 level 0, I think 4 level 1 or a few level 1, and then you start getting into just one of the higher levels.
A note about the characters, the way these play out, it plays up to level 10 instead of 20, so you're not really expect it to go past that point. Like you're getting to the high level play a lot sooner than you would for like D&D. This is why there's not too many spells per tradition, but you can expand to the different traditions.
It's because you die more often.
Yeah, that is a possibility.
I think we'd be here for ages going through every tradition, to be fair.
Alteration,
During
Matt.
all right, alteration has comprehension and distort appearance as its level 0 ones, and then going up. Enhance senses, spider climb, underwater adaptation, bolster attribute, bolster defense, alter size, regeneration, malleability, and awaken potential being the kind of capstone spell.
Arcana, Chris.
Okay. Level 0s, we've got Arcane Armor and Magic Dart. From there, we have Arcane Shield, Arcane Sight, Unerring Darts, Empowered Magic, Explosive Darts, Arcane Lightning, Destroy Magic, and Harness Magic, and Arcane Retribution.
And battle, I'll go over this one because there's a little note here. There's battle magic, which, if you know spells from the battle tradition, you have a chance of getting battle madness, which goes back to the insanity tables. So that's something to note. For the level 0s, though, there is augmented attack. My brain just fizzled out.
Clarity.
Clarity.
I read that as celebrate. I was trying to figure that one
Yeah,
out.
for some reason my brain's going, why
Celerity.
is celery in here? Close wounds, mighty attack, resounding attack, arc of death, mountain fall, battle prowess, meteoric assault, wall of swords, strike like lightning. And then celestial, Jack, go.
Celestial is magic with stars and stuff. Stars are cool. People love stars. And basically it's just called in the light and energy of the sun and stars to like divine stuff. So the spells it has, level 0 is Burning Beam and Light. And then we go on to leveled ones where we have Flash, Persistent Light, Rainbow Burst, Dawn, Sun Rays, Radiation, Starfall, Nova, which sounds pretty badass, and Sunbeam.
And then we
Yeah.
got Chaos Anna.
So for
Classic.
level 1 spells, level 0 spells, you have Chaos Boon and Erratic Bolt, and then you have Capricious Devastation, Fold Space, Iridescent Shield, Color of Magic, Flicker, Chaotic Lance, and a Wild Magic, as well as Mirror Field and Singularity.
Ooh.
Conjuration, Nathan, go.
Useful item. Direct Conjuration. Conjure Feast. Conjure Small Monster. Conjure Weapon. Conjure Steed. Conjure Medium Monster. Conjure Large Monster. Conjure Wall. Conjure Shelter. Conjure Huge Monster.
As you can tell, there's a lot of conjure and conjuration. And we'll go to curses, which is the first of the forbidden traditions that can
Spooky.
make you a bad guy. Level 0s, there is Hex and Pox. Level 1s, Frighten, Hobble, Pain, Vulnerability. Attack 2 is Weakness. 3 is Dread, Swine. Yeah, a lot of these dark traditions are very weird and usually have you do something very bad in order to even cast it. Like sacrifices and stuff. Toad, Petrify. Yeah.
And you can make control dolls.
Yeah, it's all great.
Cute.
Yeah.
Destruction magic, Matt, go.
All right, with the destruction, you have Break, Ruin, Dissolve, Rend, Sunder, entropic power, erode, detonate, evaporate, destroy, and disintegrate. A lot of destructive spells for sure.
And every single one you lose health to cast,
Ooh.
which I love.
Oh, you do? Yeah.
Yep.
Take damage upon casting. Yeah.
Take 6 damage. Whoop.
Yeah,
Do not take 6
disintegrate.
damage.
Gotta give to take.
That's a pretty worthwhile trade.
Okay, divination magic. Chris.
Okay, we've got Eavesdrop, Epiphany, Augur, Foretell, Psychometry, Reading, Truth Ear, See the Future, Locate, Vision, and Clairvoyance.
And just a note, no other class or anything can read. That's why you get in divination. I'm
takes a
joking.
level
I'm
2
joking.
spell.
That's not what that means.
Then we got Earth. Jack, go.
Have you ever wanted to be Toph from Avatar: The Last Airbender? Well, Earth magic is just for you. You get to control the Earth and soil and stuff. So the spells that has is Earth Spike and Shape Earth and Stone, which are your basic 0 utility ones. And then you go on to Stone Armor, Stone Blades, Tremor, Avalanche, Mold Earth and Stone, Eruption, Nail to the Ground, Earthquake, and Bind Earth Genie. All of which, probably apart from Bind Earth Genie, were seen during those cool shows.
Enchantment. Anna.
Yes, so for level 0, you have Bewitch and Presence, and then you have Charm, Command, Question, Compel, Mind Bondage, Cower, Implant, Suggestion, Allure, and Enslave. Woo!
And then for fire, Nathan.
Yeah, we're only on the letter F. Anyway, control flame, flame
hold on.
missile.
No, Nathan, you misunderstood. I said you're fired.
Ah,
You don't even pay us.
well, I'd benefit from control flame then, and flame missile,
True,
and
true.
fire blast, and meteor, and flame ward, and fiery volley, and flaming shroud, and fireball, and immolate, wall of flames, bind flame genie.
A lot of binding
I-
at the end of these.
Wild guess. Wild
Yeah, I
guess.
think there's some genies going on somewhere.
Yeah, just
But
a
I
little
think
bit.
the water one will have bind water genie. I don't know why I'm thinking this.
I
Like-
reckon it's going to say
Nah.
bind wet genie.
No, that's a different school of magic, Nathan.
I believe that might fall into our next one, a forbidden tradition. For this is the second of the dark magics. Your zeros are Black Tongue and Harm, but you can't guess what Harm does.
Does it heal you?
No, sorry.
Oh.
It's a permanent decrease to health for a minute.
Yeah, the dark magic ones are very strong.
That is.
And they come at a
Terrifying.
cost.
Yeah, they do. Your tier ones, obedience, hateful defecation.
I hate that one
Yeah.
so much.
Yeah, I made the
hate
mistake
that
of
one.
reading that one.
We're not reading that spell. Onward.
Let's,
Oh my god.
in short, you make your enemy
Gross.
do some nasty stuff.
Yeah.
Your
They have
enemy
to change
becomes
their
their
pants.
alchemy. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
their face.
It's
Tongue rip.
How. Yeah.
Just skip over that one until we say too much.
Oh my god.
Tongue rip. Bet you can't think of what that one does. Ravenous maggots.
Yum.
Yeah,
Basically,
these ones are pretty
Don't
bad.
read forbidden
Visions
spells for your
end.
own health.
Desires end. Great one here that I like. Part bone from flesh. Release your inner skeleton. Or your enemy's inner skeleton.
And if they die, they become an animated corpse.
Yes, which is great. Soul exchange. Yep. That one's
Yep.
a long one. Horrid joining.
Onward.
Oh god.
Wait, could you just soul exchange into the baddie? Just-
I guess technically, yeah.
Just
You
become
grasp.
the baddie.
Well, for you grasp a target's soul. You just need 2 living mortal creatures, so long as the baddie is mortal.
Yeah, and you
make
just
an
permanently
attack.
swap bodies.
Yeah,
Huh.
you're the bad guy now. Illusion magic. Matt.
They're more fun.
Yeah. All right. You have Clamor in disguise as your level 0 utilities. Figment. With the Thimble Rig. Vertigo, Glamour, Invisibility, Decoy, Phantasm, Mirage, and Illusory Double. That looks like a fun little school of magic.
And then we have life. Chris.
Oh, great. Life Sense, Minor Healing, level 0s, and then Cure, Font of Life, Light Healing, Moderate Healing, Vitality Burst, Greater Cure, Major Healing, Total Healing, and Resurrect.
Bet you
don't
can't tell
know
what the
why.
theme of that one is.
No.
Is it harm? It's a damage class. It's a damage tradition, right?
Yeah, totally. Well, the opposite of damage tradition. Nature. Jack.
Have you ever wanted to be that like one guy from Avatar: The Last Airbender?
Yes,
that
yes,
covers
I
mines
have.
constantly? Well, nature's just the magic school from you. It's all naturey things. So in this, you have spells. Your basic ones are magic acorns and oak hide. Then you go on to healing berries, overgrowth, shillelagh, ensnaring vines, fiery pine cones, brambles, forest walk, wrath of nature, and form of the oak guardian. We
That-
become a tree.
That sounds
Who
like
doesn't
the
wanna
coolest
become
of the
tree?
nature spells.
Yeah.
Then we have necromancy. And Jack, you have inspired me. Everyone else, I want you to sell me on these traditions. I want
No.
I want you to bring me your best Billy Mays, your what's his name from ShamWow. Bring it here.
Person.
Necromancy. Nathan. No, wait, no, I skipped over Anna. Anna, necromancy.
I knew my patience was fruitful.
Oh no. I can't sell it. I can't.
You can't.
You can't sell it.
Anyway.
Necromancy is such an easy one to sell.
It sells itself practically.
Have you been missing your loved
Yeah, it
ones?
doesn't sell so why don't you sell it?
Do you need an
So this
expendable
is another
workforce?
one of your
Forbidden School of Magics. Fun fact: it makes you very very corrupt if you use it. Fun fact. Anyway, hide from undead and spectral grasp are your utility 0 and attack 0 spells. Then you have animate corpse, grave grasp, grape grasp.
Grasp of the grave.
It's the
Great.
grasp of the grape. The grapes are coming.
Tantalize magic, Will of Dark Power, Seal the Underworld's Gate, Army of the Dead.
That,
Yeah.
that sounds pretty awesome. Especially grape grasp, which I think is a new spell for the nature.
Grape grasp, grape grasp, grape grape.
Well, it's quite interesting. With that class, you can control a number of creatures equal to your power level, but
It's
the
like
later spells summon multiple that only count as one.
Oh,
Huh.
that was nice.
plays Army of the Dead and then
Okay,
summons.
Now, Nathan, if you can show Anna how it's done with the primal tradition.
Yeah!
Heavy peaks.
Cut out.
So we've got Primal. You're releasing the Beast Within. You've got Hide from Animals, Beast Tongue, Befriend Animals, Call Small Animal, Call Medium Animal, Call Large Animal, Dire Beast, Pounce, Call of the Wild, Call Huge Animal. I always get left with these ones.
You have a lot of gold.
So I would like to point out that he did his whole sales pitch during the time that he peaked, so we couldn't hear it. But I'll give him a pass.
Teehee.
Matt, protection.
All right. Do you hate dying? Cast protection magic on yourself.
Or your
There
friends,
is-
but it's whatever.
mostly, yeah. Sure. Magic lock, secure sight, evade, force field, sanctuary, vigilance, vigor, protection from spells, protective field, invulnerability, and globe of negation are the spells of the protection tradition. So yes, protect yourself and your friends if you want to.
If you
Hey,
must.
This
Now we go
Cool
into
magic.
some pretty darn cool magic. Rune magic. Chris.
Oh yeah, if you ever wanted to, write on things and make them magical, this is for you.
I do like writing
Uh,
on shit.
Yeah. We got Rune of Finding, translate anything, Brand of
What does
Doom,
it do?
translate anything for the duration you can read or write. You can read any writing you see.
And that's it. That's the spell. Just one sentence.
Yeah.
You
that's
can
it.
read any rating.
A
You can
lot
also
of these
different-
spells are super simple.
But it's also different to the
Whatever.
reading spell we discovered earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sadly, it's
Come on,
not
reading
reading.
spell.
You can translate it, but you can't read it. Continue on, Chris.
Brand of Doom, Glyph of Fire, Runic Shield, Glyphic Prison, Rune of Concealment, Sigil Trap, Rune of Might, Runic Weapon, Rune of Power.
Then we have spooky shadow magic. We'll go with who was next? Jack.
Have you ever watched Lord of the Rings and seen Strider sitting in that little dark corner being edgy as all hell? Or have you ever wanted to be an edgier version of him sitting in a dark room by yourself but coolly?
By
Well,
God, yes,
Shadow
tell
Ma-
me.
Exactly.
Somebody
It's shadow magic
hated
is
your
for you.
pitch so much they ran away.
Exactly. When you're sitting there by yourself, just with your little shadow magic, it's perfect. It's a little bliss of a place, you know? What more could you want? So this gives you a Nightfall Blade, Wall of Darkness as your basic, starting out freebies. And then you get to progress onto Darkness, Dark Sight, Shadow Dark, Shadow Monster, Shadow Stride, Black Bolts of the Underworld, funky, Shadow Magic.
like the funk.
Okay,
Shadow magic is cast whatever spell you like. basically.
Yeah.
It's a third
Oh, it
level, cast
is?
any other second
damn.
level.
Oh wow,
Wow.
Yeah.
So it really is just shadow magic.
that's
I
I
cool.
wonder. Yeah.
Then you also get dark portals and innovation. Innovation. It's like innovation, but not. It's innovation. I guess.
And then
Ooh.
we're gonna switch things up for this one a little bit. Since she doesn't want to do a sales pitch, Anna, since you're doing song tradition, I need you to sing all of these.
No.
Well, I better get back to the sales pitch then.
I think songs can fall under sales, so.
Did you ever want to be Scanlan from Vox Machina? You can watch that now on Amazon Prime. Fun fact: if you use Amazon Prime, you can
Not sponsored.
subscribe to A Few Die Short for free. Yeah. Anyway, song. You can have Project Voice for Song of Friendship as your attack and utility 0, and then you have Song of Courage, Song of Inspiration, Song of Valor, Song of Captivation, Song of Healing. Guess what? There's more songs up ahead. Song of Rivalry, Song of Dread, Song of Slumber, and Song of Heroes. Woo!
So which song of the Song Magic is your favorite song of Song Magic?
Song of Slumber. I need it right now.
I like that
mood.
Song of Friendship is an attack.
You're gonna be my best friend. And then we got Storm Magic with Nathan.
Do. You've got your fog, you've got your shock, you've got your forked lightning, you've
Go
got your
for it.
freezing fog, you've got your Saint Astrid's flame, you've got your core lightning, you've got your poisonous fog, you've got your hailstorm, you've got your lightning bolt, you have your acid rain, and leaping lightning.
Go leaping lightning.
Old.
And then we got something kind of out of left field. Technomancy, Matt.
Yes, a little cyberpunk in your fantasy. We have spells like Jury Rig, Magic Wrench, Bolt Thrower, Caltrops, Sparking Shield, Flamethrower, Grenades, Flying Blades, Mend, Powered Suit, and Magic Item. I bet you can't guess what Magic Item does.
If it only lasts an hour.
Yeah, but what
Is
does
it-
you
Min
can
do?
make
Make
it.
you magic?
You can make it permanent. I do like a lot of these spells. Sometimes they have like special options or sacrifice options. Like you can forego casting this spell to do something else.
Or fun things like when you have an attack roll of 20 plus, your person
Yeah.
takes more damage.
There's
Or
extra
gets
crits
an
or
extra
extra. Yeah.
Teleportation, Chris.
Yeah. I got distracted reading one of these spells and realized that part of teleportation is damaging people by forcing them to teleport.
Yeah.
Pretty awesome.
Let's see. We got dismiss and fetch as our level zeros, and then division. Why? Why?
That's awesome.
Swap, remove, shortcut, boundless step, and fuse, and then portals and travel.
Oh, you missed
Nice.
Glory Hole.
What?
Nathan, you're mistaken. That's Hole of Glory.
Yeah. Not the other
I
one.
know what I'm shouting when I cast it.
Nathan, I agree with your truth. Okay. Then we have Thurgy with Jack.
Yeah, so I don't know how to sell this one because it's religion stuff, and that's, I don't know about you. I grew up with religion around me. It was quite boring.
Yeah, but this is magic.
I guess if you pray really, really, really hard, sometimes create a holy symbol by carving it out of wood, I guess. You can denounce people by insulting them. You can bless people by complimenting them. Censure by, I don't know, blacking it out. Hallowed ground, Godhammer, revelation by realizing stuff. Divine aid by helping. Wrath of God by making God angry. Avatar by, I don't know, blue people. Fire from heaven as well as your last one.
Now,
I guess that's a
I'm gonna
meteor
just
strike.
How did you go with the wrong avatar then?
All this time. Yeah.
Then we got time magic with who better to do time magic than our own Nathan.
Nathan, if you say a word, I'll find you.
Okay,
I-
Anna, since Nathan doesn't want to do anything, go ahead.
In honor of my favorite wizard and the only wizard you
Moving
should
on
ever
to
care about,
transformation.
Ian. We have delay and swiftness as your attack 0 and utility 0. Minor paradox, which is fun, because love paradoxes. Rewrite moment, classic. Slow, very classic. Precognition, time jump, accelerate, decelerate. Coin stealth, and then time travel. I love time travel.
Like they're all like normal. Just, yeah, let's change a thing, jump a little bit, make a copy of yourself, or just travel in time.
Travel into the future. Disappear
Yay.
from existence.
I like the caveat though that when time catches up, you have to reappear from where you disappeared, just so there's no shenanigans.
Then we have transformation with Nathan. So for some reason, he didn't want to do time.
Wonder why.
Yeah, I mean transformation. It's all what we sort of do ourselves. You know, it's life is a journey. You've got flowing form, mask, animal shape, bounding step, murmuration, improved animal shape, object form, mist form, speed healing. For those that like to, actually heal, play the game properly. Metallicus. There you go, I got that. And greater animal shape.
And then we
It's
have
not
what?
it's not a wet genie, I'm upset.
Yeah, and now we're going to go to water. I bet you cannot guess what the capstone ability is. Matt, can you tell us how to get wet?
Oh, yes, I can. With just these water spells. Freeze, produce water, that'll make you wet. Drown, ice blast, wellspring of life, geyser, wave, sphere of water, tidal forces, cold snap, and bind wet genie.
Question. Which one
Yes.
would get you most wet, do you think?
Now, probably taking your magician and then
forces?
going into teleportation to get full of glory, and
Glory
then
hole.
going into the water magician.
and just geyser everywhere.
Yeah,
Oh my god!
and
Jeez.
that does it for the spells.
Yeah,
That was a
Uh,
lot. That was a solid segment.
that
so
was a solid segment.
I don't want to go into like setting and everything too deep. Just that everything is bad, like in a good way for playing, but bad for like NPCs and the players in general. It's just man.
I mean, the
you run the
the
risk of
picture of the
death
map.
easily.
picture
The
of the map
picture
is
of the
made
map.
skin.
Yeah, pretty
I'm
metal.
a big fan of the gods.
Ooh.
The gods are very fun.
Yes, they actually have a
Yeah.
little page of the gods and tells you how that affects your character and everything, and affects the world.
You also have witchcraft. Yay!
There is a lot to it in the GM's section / setting section. Then
Yeah, there's like
There's a bit more on character creation and stuff as well as you go on.
yeah, a little more character creation and stuff like that, and just kind of helping the DM and stuff get some adventures prepared and all that.
It sort of suggests at times that you have multiple characters as well.
Yeah, especially with how short the character leveling is, you can easily swap out. Now, the neat thing that they do here, they have a starting adventure, where starting adventures are set the stage for everything to come. It's kind of like the prologue for your game, except it's going to be something that's pretty simple, at least for the characters to get out of situations, stuff like that. This is the point where your characters are for your players and everything. Everybody's learning how to play the game. Make sure what they've chosen is what they want, that kind of thing. And then you got tiers of adventure. It goes along with the paths. You got novice adventures, expert adventures, master adventures. That's where you have your swan songs and everything for your characters going out. Then they also have just general, very helpful things for GMs to
like monsters.
yeah, or just like exploration and travel. It goes over good ways to go about that. How to use senses while describing things. It gives you some tables and stuff to kind of help you out. Then it goes into combat from there, and it actually does tell you that sometimes it fudge the numbers. Especially since this game is very, very easy to get your players killed. So
Really?
sometimes you gotta fudge the numbers, unless you're rolling out in the open, like my home game demands that I do, because they don't believe that sometimes I just roll 5 nat 20s in a row.
Yeah. I
At
wouldn't
least
believe
the
it either
character
over
sheet
the
has a
track
pentagram
record.
on it.
Just because I made a blood sacrifice before the game doesn't mean anything. Now, sometimes it is better to surrender or flee, or sometimes enemies will surrender and flee. It just gives you a lot to work with, a lot of ideas.
You don't have to fight everyone.
For
Yes.
the damage type thing, I think there is like poison damage and fire damage, and then I guess it's just weapon damage outside of that. 'Cause I think
yeah.
some spells deal damage that are fire spells, and some you can. There's like a potion of fire resistance. So I think it's a lot of it is just subjectiveness.
Weapons are just physical damage.
Yeah, I think a lot of spells are just damage as well. It doesn't specify what kind.
Fire damage is also very physical, but it is fire damage first and foremost.
Yeah, I think fire is quite uniquely fire. Poison, I don't know. Poison depends.
Poison is poison damage because makes you feel ill.
Hmm. I don't. It is interesting, like taking away that sort of complexity that is all the different damage types with just I think 3. I'd say.
I think it's because you have a lot of complexity with a lot of the other stuff, like
Yeah.
impact on your sanity or lack thereof.
I know. Let's make 30 different spell classes, each with their own unique damage type.
Sounds like a deal. Continuing on with
You're doing all the work, right, Nathan?
with GM related stuff. It kind of helps you guide your players on their character creation. Also, it helps you talk about character exits, like if a character's retiring or if a character's dying, how to introduce new characters. Very helpful guides overall, just kind of great for any RPG. And it gives you like ideas because the setting is going into an apocalypse. Like eventually, everyone's gonna be dead, more or less. So it gives you ideas on how to really sell that instead of just being like, "Oh, we're in our nice little woodland village. Everything's hunky dory. Ooh, there's some demons out there. Let's go kill them."
Kermit the Frog.
For you.
I mean, it's a famous demon slayer, of course. So who else would you choose to voice?
Yes, true.
Then it gives the GM a little extra tools like corruption and everything. Tells you how to work that in. Deprivation, disease, exposure, fire, insanity, suffocation, traps. Just really how to torture the player characters and the players by extent. Gives you a pretty good trap guide. And then it does the really stupid part of like giving you ideas on how to reward your players for doing stuff. Like who does that?
It's not bad thing.
Yeah.
It's good thing, right?
Just torture me.
Daddy?
Off to the hole of glory with you.
You know what? I have really enjoyed just talking about a new system with you guys, even if we hadn't played it,
Yeah.
It was fun.
And then from there it goes into the bestiary with your monsters and everything. That's not for players to be looking at, and if they are, then they're filthy meta gamers.
What's everyone's favorite beastie? I'm trying to find that out.
Clearly.
My favorite is Huge Demon.
My favorite is Animal Swarm.
I really like the Wet Genie.
Yep.
Yeah, Wet Genie is something special.
You got a point there. I think that is
Yeah.
probably the best one.
The neat thing about it gives you like some specific monsters, and then it gives you like here's kind of a blueprint. Like, hey, here's just a giant, and you can kind of make your own thing out of it.
Hmm.
Dracolich.
Oh, look, it's half my characters.
I think that's it. Yeah.
I mean, do we want to? We're going to be doing a load of one shots and different systems and stuff. Do we want to like set that sort of thing up, or I think I've got a character made. Like we could just go through how I made that.
Well,
or...
we need to look into some. I don't want to commit to anything again right now until we figure out what the heck we're doing.
Beacon.
Yeah.
We're gonna
be-
talk about the rules of Beacon. We're gonna create a Beacon character. And we'll leave Shadow of the
Maybe.
Demon Lord for when a character sheet comes up.
the thing is, the beacon. It's still going to take some work to do because it's literally using the Lancer system. Just
Okay,
Change
we're gonna
your
play
reference.
Lancer.
Yeah, let's just play Lance then.
now,
Yeah, that sounds
we could
good.
just play some Lancer. I'm all for that. I'm all for playing some Lancer.
I mean, Lancer is on the list of one shots we were considering.
It is pretty.
You know what? This is a
fun as
Lancer
well.
stream now.
I mean, Lancer into Beacon, into Icon, into Pathfinder.
Yeah,
What do we
we'll actually play something. So we'll go over. You know what? Next week we'll talk about Lancer. How's that? And then the week after that we'll actually play some Lancer. Sound good to you guys?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
and if you want to
no,
hop into our
um,
Discord with any recommendations or join the conversation, click on the link below.
Or if you can help us build Shadow of the Demon Lord and Foundry, that would be appreciated too.
Yeah.
Everybody suddenly has like a little template so that we can actually.
I mean, to be fair, I think we
Any
could
recommendations
just do
on
it in our normal Foundry and just be aware that
Yeah, we
But-
might be able to tweak a
What
few
dice
things.
and-
And,
as
Tyler
well.
would have
5e.
pain because he'd have
yeah, it's just
I-
going to be a lot of manual changing of health.
I'm
like,
used
I
to
rolled
putting more
3d6.
work into myself that's needless, so it's not an issue.
But also, like, I like automation, and what
Yeah,
if
that
we
is
play
nice.
Lancer and then play Beacon? Beacon? What if we
Nah, I
play
like
Beacon?
Beacon better. Yeah.
Pecan
Yeah.
pie. Just real quick, you can get Shadow of the Demon Lord on Drive-Thru RPG. Right now, the PDF is about $19 US. And if you get the, there's the option to buy the soft cover book, and that comes with the PDF. That's for 43 USD. I don't know what it is in like these fake British money or whatever.
Honestly, it changes by the day because of our government and the crisis the
You can
country's
also
in.
find a lot.
I
of
didn't
people-
realize Scottish
Yeah.
pounds weren't legal tender.
No, they are.
In
Oh,
They are.
no, not. I think. Or is it the other way around? Like
No, you
It's
can use
Scot-
British
Scotland's
pounds
legal-
in Scotland.
no, but it's not legal tender. They don't have to accept it. They could choose not to.
I mean, you don't have to accept anything if you don't want to. That's
Yeah.
the point of running a business.
I can be like, no, I don't want to promise.
Welcome
That's
to a
like-
few banknotes short. Today we're going to be talking about
Oh,
economics.
we all.
You can find some free play
In
on
Scotland
the
and Northern
Discord.
Ireland, only Royal Mint coins and not banknotes are legal tender. So if you have a tenner, they could just say no, that's not worth anything here.
Well, that's because it's a promise of £10 from the Treasury.
Yeah, it's
Bank of
not
England?
actually £10.
Yeah.
Anyway, go to schwabbentertainment.com/play-aids/ to find your free downloadable PDFs for character sheets for Shadow of the Demon Lord.
Yeah,
They're
really, like,
more
even if you're
variable
if you are still on 5e, I recommend looking at Shadow of the Demon Lord because it might give you some like quote unquote homebrew rules to work in there, or like I wish we could play it because I really like these rules.
I really like the devotion to magic sort of perspective. Like I quite like that.
I
I'm a
like the
big fan of
insanity and
big time
corruption.
magic. But yeah, insanity and corruption is
So
great
what,
things.
what you're saying is, if I play with you guys, we're just going to be running an evil campaign most likely.
No,
Make all the
No, it would
demons
start off
advocate.
good.
use insanity against
I'm
us.
surprised there isn't a lot of like lingering wounds and stuff like rules.
Yeah, that is kind of surprising. We'd have to work that in, wouldn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, but we're gonna have to chop off our own limbs.
I'm sorry, we're not going to go down that dumb route.
What was I gonna say?
People that do that, like, oh, you got on that one of your roll, you're hacking off your own arm. Like, dude, if you hate your players that much,
Da-da-da-da-da-dum.
yeah. I guess next Saturday we'll looking into setting up some Lancer, which I
Yeah.
have been trying to set up a home group with, but getting people together for that's been an ordeal.
We'll see how it goes. We have lots of systems to try out. Maybe we'll stick to Lancer and have Tyler just rework it for fantasy D&D.
We'll find out.
We'll find out.
Next
We'll
time,
just
what if
play
he does show
giant dinosaurs and dragons.
Oh my god.
But yeah, be sure to take a look at Shadow of the Demon Lord. I love the rules. Setting metal, some of the spells disgusting in metal.
Take a look at their other books as well if you already have the original or have seen or played the core version, because they have more ancestry stuff you can try out. Like you can play elves later on.
Yeah, they
Or,
also got
you can
some
play
pre-written
vampires.
adventures. They got a lot of neat things already on here. Like, a lot. For my players here, I'm gonna send you guys a link to look at. Wait, no.
Oh, Tyler, on the internet?
Yeah. I just remembered that Chris already put it into the Lancer chat.
Lancer chat.
Yep.
Very nice.
CopCon app.
Hmm.
It is awesome. Take a look at that, and you guys can start looking at the compendiums and everything. And
I have been running a detective Lancer game, and one of my players have gone full into tech, and my gosh, is tech disgusting.
So I should go full into tech.
Yeah, things just melt, and they're not even on the map. It's
or just better yet, just get the Manticore mech and then just blow yourself up, because
yeah.
I mean, as rules are written, you're just gonna come back anyways.
This means nothing to me, but also means everything to me.
All right.
Anyway, sorry, Tyler.
Oh no, I think that's about it. Unless you guys want to make characters, but I don't think there's much of a point at the moment to.
I've got one ready.
Me too.
Yeah.
We'll talk about the characters we made. Nathan, what are you? What did you make, Nathan?
Well, I guess avoiding the setting and just looking at the raw dog skeleton. We've got a changeling magician. So they start off with 9, 10, 10, 12 as their stats. I took 1 away from strength to add it to will, and then I added my 2 from my magician path to 1 to agility, 1 to will. So I've ended up with 8 strength, 11 agility, 10 intelligence, and 12 will. So I'm sort of looking at will casting and not dying. Got 11 perception, 11 defense, 10 health, 10 speed, 1 power. Changelings get to have immunity to disease, charmed, and the diseased condition. So that's fun. Iron vulnerability. So I become impaired when I touch iron. So that's why I'm looking at agility for my defenses, like sort of leather equipment. Shadow sight and changelings can steal identity. I've spec'd sort of like professions is a bit like your background, so I've spec'd into academic history and academic magic. Spell wise, I've done the fire tradition and the celestial tradition. Magicians get to pick up 2 level 0 spells when you discover a tradition. So I've got fire, missile, control, flame. I've also got burning beam and light. I get sense magic for free. And then I use my other 2 points to buy Fire Blast from the Fire Tradition and Rainbow Burst from the Celestial Tradition.
Nice.
A lot of words.
A lot of burning.
Yeah.
Lots of fun.
Who would like to share their character?
Yeah,
Not everyone wants.
had a character made as well. I made a goblin priest. His attributes are 8 strength, 13 agility, and he's got a 10 in both intellect and will. He's a very nimble little guy. Like the wow, what? You're not a. It started changeling. Yes. They're both Fey, so I have the same immunities. I have the Iron vulnerability as well. I also have Shadow Sight, which lets me see in obscure areas. Sneaky, being a goblin. Whenever you roll to become hidden or move silently, you just roll with a boon. And part of my being a priest, I was able to choose a little bit of magic, and I chose the level 0 spell Magic Acorns and the level 1 spell Healing Berries. And thus I named my goblin Pouch because he just carries all his useful stuff in his pouch, his acorns and his berries.
Truly the greenest boy.
Yep. He's a sneaky little nature gobbo. That's his deal.
Yeah, who would like to share next?
I think-
go-
No, I was just going to say, I think you might get another spell there as well.
Oh, a third.
Yeah, you get a free one because of nature, and then you get 2 choices, so you can either pick another nature one or discover a new tradition and get a new level 0 spell. So you got like one
Oh,
more
so
choice.
I get both level 0s then.
If you when you are forced to discover nature, which you get Magic Acorn from, and
Yes.
then you get 2 options. So one of your options would have been to learn Healing Berries. So you have
Mhm,
one more
yeah.
option. So you can discover another tradition related to your religion, which would give
Yeah.
you a new 0 spell. Or you could learn another nature spell.
Yeah. Is what I did?
What's your 3rd spell?
Wait, I thought you just said which was Healing Berries.
We can go over it later. It doesn't matter. Sorry. You get one. It gives you the nature tradition, so you get Magic Acorn, and then you get 2 choices.
Yes.
only
So
get
you
one
that
choice,
that means 2 like points. You have 2 points that you can spend. No,
I thought it was an either or.
no. Sorry, yeah. I guess that's the wording of choice. You get 2 points. One of the points you've spent to get Healing
I see.
Berries. You have
Okay.
another point that you can use to unlock a new tradition and get a level 0 spell, or learn
Okay.
another nature spell.
Okay.
Chris, go ahead and share your character.
Yeah, I made an orc warrior. I have 13 in strength, 10 in intelligence and agility, and an 8 in will. I get shadow sight, and for warrior, I get weapon training and catch your breath, which catch your breath lets me heal. Weapon training lets me attack. When I attack with a weapon, I get a attack with a boon.
Which is super nice.
That's it.
Jack, Anna?
I hadn't made a sheet or anything for it, so I don't know much in detail. But I was planning to do a changeling rogue because rogues are sneaky and cool, and changelings are cool and funky. And so it'd be just less magic-y, really. Funky changeling. Tall guy.
All right. Anna? She here? She already leave.
Oh,
I don't see an avatar
oh,
or a Discord person. No, I do see a
She's here.
Discord
wait.
person.
Isn't-
She's in
Yes.
here. She must be preoccupied.
Or maybe the internet's left and Discord takes a while to kick people out.
That could be it.
Yeah, and it's just a ghost.
Oh well, she's not here.
Made a
Well-
human rogue.
Yep, correct.
Don't know anything else about it, but human row. Thank you guys for joining us. Be sure to check out Shadow of the Demon Lord. We're not going to be doing a one shot right now. We're going to be looking at Lancer next week, and then we're going to probably do a Lancer one shot. Then week after that, because giant robots, awesome.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That Lancer is a fun one. What sort of? I guess we'll talk about it next week. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go over some of the stuff with you guys beforehand. I'll also send you the link to the player guide, but you can find most of the information in the compendium. It's on ComCom.
Yeah, yeah. I'll say something after the stream. It's fine.
No, no, go ahead. You're good. Unless you don't want to share on stream.
No, I won't share on stream.
Okay.
Fine.
I love you too, Jack.
I forgot we were. Yeah, I know. Sorry. It's my Nathan's deep, long-lasting, long-term love that we've been keeping secret.
Yeah.
Okay, that's nice. And I'll continue the stream. Thank you all for joining us. Hope you liked listening to us ramble on about Shadow of the Demon Lord's rules, and hopefully you're interested enough to actually take a serious look at it. And you can get it on DriveThruRPG. I think that's the only way to get it. Just about website, I think that's the only way to get it. Check it out, and then we'll be back with our actual adventures in Anchorvale as soon as we get some clarity on what the heck we're doing for a system.
Yeah.
Are we staying with 5e? I don't know. I guess that depends on what we get here. All right. Gonna go ahead and send you out on the intro. You gonna be raiding anyone?
Let's find somebody to raid that's English. These people are playing Pathfinder. Let's do that.
Rightio. Thank you for joining us today. If you're listening to this in the future, hello from the past. Goodbye from the past now too.
Yes.
And go ahead and roll the outro.